Coming up on After the Whistle, District 6 basketball and wrestling hit the peak of their season.
We also take a look at Penn State basketball and their return to Rec Hall.
And stick around to see Penn State's triumphant weekend over the Buckeyes. After the Whistle starts now.
Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. Our crews have traveled all over District 6 to cover the games from the last week. Live from University Park, I'm Nico Rodriguez.
And I'm Andrew Matz. High school basketball and wrestling had big weeks, and Penn State basketball prepares for their annual Return to Rec game. All that and more coming up on After the Whistle.
Friday night, right here at Penn State's PIAA Ice Arena, the State High Little Lions hosted the Greater Johnstown Trojans. Let's take a look. A skillful pass by Derek Peltzer leads the forward Rylan Coffey to score a goal after waiting right in front of the net. With a second push, he's able to push the puck in for the goal. This play starts with a great steal by number 86, Ryan Marusa, who passes it to Alex Chobati, who smoothly pushes it in for an easy goal. Ryan Marusa starts this play, and the puck gets passed around before landing in Coffey's stick for a clean backhand goal. It is now 3-0 State High.
Cleaning up the trash in front right there.
After a dominant first and second period for the Little Lions, they keep it rolling in the third with their seventh and final goal of the night, scored by Campbell, who fakes the pass and lifts it in for the goal. The Little Lions would wrap this game up 7-0, allowing goalie Ryan Butcher to earn his first shutout of the season. The Little Lions will travel to Ebensburg to take on Forest Hills, and the defeated Trojans will look to bounce back against Central Cambria this week.
On January 1st, State College in Chambersburg played at Chambersburg High School, with the Trojans coming out on top. Now these two teams are playing once again. The State College Little Lions took on the Chambersburg Trojans on Monday night for the second time this season. Let's jump into the second quarter with Chambersburg with a comfortable lead as J.J. Kelly scoring plays like this make it 25-13 with 5 minutes left in the second.
Woo!
Shortly after that dunk, State College's Ty Salazar, you probably heard of this name before, steals the ball and tries to score, but it was denied by Kelly to lead us into halftime, 31-17. Now flipping into the second half, State College would try to retake the lead on Ty Salazar's ability on the court, but it would not be enough as Chambersburg's defense was too strong for the Little Lions. Chambersburg takes down State College 62-14 for the second time. This game marks Chambersburg's head coach's 400th win. The Little Lions fall to 8-9 as they will travel to Cumberland Valley on Thursday. Chambersburg's record grows to 12-4 and they will play Central Dauphin East on Thursday at home.
On Monday, the Bald Eagle Area Eagles travel to take on the reigning state champion Bishop Guilfoyle Lady Marauders. Jumping right into the action, it's Amber Lynn Petreka dishing to Morgan Rugery for the long two. And just a minute later, the Eagles, with some good ball movement of their own, would respond with a bucket on this deep two by Gabby Perry. Take a look at that. Now in the second quarter, Marauders on top and the offense keeps rolling with some quick passes, everyone getting in on the action before Leona Williams knocks down the three from beyond the arc.
That's a name we heard all last week.
Into the second half, it's the BG defense showing off, starting with this block by Riley Gofus. A few plays later, it's Amber Lynn Petreka getting the steal, dishing to Leona Williams, again, who finishes the layup for an and one. The Marauder defense was suffocating in the second half, only allowing 3 points as Bishop Guilfoyle cruised to a 52-12 win. With the win, BG moves to 14-2 on the season and will play Bishop McCourt on Friday, while Bald Eagle drops to 4-11 and will play Chestnut Ridge also on Friday.
Let's take a look at the District 6 basketball standings. Cumberland Valley sits atop the Mid-Penn boys basketball standings. Greater Johnstown has yet to lose a boys basketball game this season, making them the current leader of the Laurel Highlands.
For girls basketball now, Altoona leads Mid-Penn Commonwealth at a staggering 17-2. And lastly, Hollidaysburg and Bishop Guilfoyle are in a tight race for first place in the Laurel Highlands.
The 12-3 Altoona Mountain Lions hosted the 2-5 Williamsport Millionaires on Tuesday. According to the Altoona Mirror, Williamsport was dealing with the flu and had to forfeit 7 bouts because of it. Altoona already out to a 36-4 lead due to forfeits in 6 of the 7 weight classes. In the 133 weight class, it was Mountain Lions' Braden Weibel getting the major decision on Williamsport's Stephen Bout.
Great move.
Yes, definitely. In the 145 weight class, the Mountain Lions on the prowl once again as Gavin Ciapoli pins Jackie Burgett to extend the lead to 52-4. The Millionaires cashing in at the 152 weight class when Austin Dunlap gets the reversal and then the pin on Anthony Riccio.
That'll bring in the big bucks.
Most definitely will, especially for needing it. In the 160 weight class, North Carolina commit Lucas Sipes throws his opponent to the floor, getting the takedown and four back points. Sipes would wound up winning by pin in his senior night performance. Great performance on senior night.
I didn't know Owen Camarillos wrestled.
Yep. Superior wrestling and an illness assist propelled Altoona to a 64-10 victory. The Williamsport Millionaires moved to 2-6 and will face off in the District 3A duels this Saturday. The Altoona Mountain Lions moved to an impressive 13-3 and will face off against Indiana tonight. Our Game of the Week reporter Chase Fisher was at the game. Chase, what'd you see?
Well, Andrew and Nico, Altoona has been on a dominant stretch in recent weeks, and one more win over the Millionaires would best last year's win total of 12. In last year's match between these two schools, Altoona came out on top and looked to extend their winning streak in this year's bout. The Mountain Lions would end up dominating the match, recording 7 forfeits and 3 falls en route to a 64-10 victory over the Millionaires. And on a night of domination for the Mountain Lions, there's no one who showed that more than North Carolina commit Lucas Sipes. It didn't take Sipes very long to put his opponent on the mat, with a quick takedown and a near fall to give him the early lead. Not too much time passed between that and Sipes sealing the deal, getting his opponent on his back for the pin to close out the duel. The win is another step in the right direction to his ultimate goal.
Ultimately, my goal is to win an individual state title, and I'm ranked second, so I got a pretty good shot.
Sipes and his teammates now have the postseason in their sights, with the team in individual championships just around the corner. But head coach Joel Gilbert isn't changing the message to his team.
We don't focus on wins, we don't focus on losses, we focus on scoring points and getting better, and that has been the focus all year long. And
Altoona has one more match tonight at Indiana as they look to ride their hot streak all the way to the Giant Center in Hershey for state championships. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Chase Fisher.
The undefeated Central Mountain Wildcats went on the road to take on their rival Jersey Shore. Will the Bulldogs spoil the Wildcats' perfect season, or will Central Mountain continue to be unbeatable? The Wildcats and the Bulldogs start things off by honoring America. After 2 Central Mountain pins that give the Wildcats a 12-0 lead, 160-pounder Luke Ananea made it 3 in a row with a beautiful cradle that Jersey Shore's Jonathan Dincher was unable to break out of. Luke increased the Wildcats' lead to 18-0. Central Mountain kept on running up the score in this match. Jersey Shore's Garrett Barner attempted a shot, but Bryce Brungard put him to his back and got the pin, making it 28-0. But Jersey Shore was able to get on the board with a pin from Slate Sechrist, giving the home fans something to finally cheer for. And now the largest match of the night, Penn State commit Dalton Perry faces off against Tobias Morgret at 152 pounds. After some strong takedowns by Perry to make the score 12-0, he works around Morgret and forces him to roll onto his back, earning himself the pin.
You're seeing him in another year.
Absolutely. Central Mountain totaled 6 pins in a one-sided affair, winning 59-10. Jersey Shore moves to 7-13 and will travel to face the Wellsboro Green Hornets on Saturday. Central Mountain remains undefeated and will wrestle at the District 6 3A duels. Wildcats wrestler Dalton Perry talked about his commitment to Penn State after the match.
I mean, just the people there. It's just a great culture. I mean, and obviously they're the best wrestling team in the country. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with them.
As the PIAA wrestling duels get closer, let's take a look at the standings in District 6. In the Capital Conference, Bishop McDevitt leads the standings with an 8-0 record. Camp Hill and Middletown are not far behind at 7-1 and 6-2. Gettysburg is on top of the Commonwealth with a 5-1 record. Chambersburg and Mifflin County are tied at second at 4-2.
West Perry is first in the Colonial with Boiling Springs slightly behind. And Northern York is 1 game ahead of Hershey in the Keystone.
Coming up, the Penn State Lady Lions are just minutes away from their return to rec game. Stay tuned to see more from Rec Hall.
And we'll take a look at James Franklin's newest addition to his staff. But first, here are some scores from around the PIAA.
Tonight, it's a homecoming for the Lady Lions. The team returns to their original home of Rec Hall, where they played until they moved permanently to the Bryce Jordan Center in 1996. Our reporter Annika Wagner is live at Rec Hall this evening to preview the match. Annika?
Thanks, Andrew. Fans inside Rec Hall are anxiously awaiting tonight's matchup between Penn State and number 14 ranked Maryland. The Lady Lions currently sit 1-9 in conference play, while the Terrapins are 6-3. Last outing, Penn State dropped a 17-point lead late in the fourth quarter in their 77-73 loss to Rutgers. Tonight, the Lady Lions will need to start the game strong and continue that momentum in order to control Brenda Freese's high-powered offense, led by junior guard Kayleen Smichael. Reporting live for After the Whistle, I'm Annika Wagner. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Annika. Men's basketball is returning once again to Rec Hall for the first time since last February, when they defeated the Illinois Fighting Illini 90-89. Here's what the Nittany Lions think about going back to their roots.
It's a basketball facility like a lot in the Big Ten, where the court is encompassed. It's surrounded by fans. Their feet are almost on the court. The bleachers are close.
The energy this place brings is amazing. We saw it last year. It's a much more intimate environment. Everything is kind of on top of each other.
Penn State men's hockey has been on a tear recently, winning their last 5 games. They played an outstanding series last weekend against the Ohio State Buckeyes. I was there to see all the action.
The Nittany Lions came into the weekend on a hot streak. They had won their last 3 games and defeated number 1 ranked Michigan State in a shootout. This has all been part of the team's second half turnaround. Since the Frozen Confines game at Wrigley, Penn State has looked like a different team. It was a difficult start for Penn State as the Buckeyes got out to an early 3-0 lead and had shades of the first time they played Ohio State. But this team was different.
I think positivity plays a big factor. That's been kind of the forefront of what we've been talking about the second half. And I think, not that we weren't super positive in the first half, but I think sometimes we got down on ourselves and we weren't as confident building back. And I think as you saw tonight, we were down 3-0 and we just kept building, we were consistent.
Midway through the second period, when they needed him most, Aiden Fink would deliver, getting the Nittany Lions on the board. Soon after, Matt DeMarco sniped one into the top corner, giving Penn State a 1-goal deficit heading into the third period. What happened in the third period was a dogfight. The game had a total of 12 goals scored, 7 of which came in the third period. Each team held a lead in the period. With all this excitement, it would all come down to the last minute. With just under 13 seconds left on the clock, Danny Genev dove and poked the puck past Christopher Eberle to tie the game at 6.
And then I didn't really see it go in until it just bounced off the back of the net, and then I saw Finker just sprinting at me, and I was like, okay, maybe let in.
The Nittany Lions won the game in a shootout. Dylan Luger scored the winner before Arseny Sergeyev shut the door.
Penn State put on a show for the fans tonight. They fought through adversity to play their best game of the season. Despite a rough start, the Nittany Lions rode positivity all the way to the end.
Penn State head coach Guy Godowski says the Roar Zone plays a major factor for the team.
The entire building was awesome. The atmosphere was great. Trust me, we feed off of that. There's nothing that coaches can say that could be as impactful as when the Roar Zone gets it going.
The Blue and White won in overtime on Saturday and look to keep positivity high as they head through the final stretch.
The Nittany Lions will run the gauntlet with their last stretch of the season. They'll play Michigan, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Michigan State, and Minnesota to close out the season.
Following its Orange Bowl loss to Notre Dame, Penn State's defensive coordinator Tom Allen left the program for Clemson. Less than 2 weeks later, head coach James Franklin found his replacement. Former Ohio State and national champion Jim Knowles signed a deal with the Nittany Lions on Monday. Knowles coached the #1 defensive unit last year, finishing first in total and scoring defense. His contract lasts for 3 years, averaging $3.1 million per season, making him the highest paid coordinator in college football.
And now to end our show, it's time for the top 3 plays of this week in District 6. Here are the highlights that we captured this week.
Take a look.
Making it into the top 3 plays is the Chambersburg men's basketball team because they showed their fundamentals on this inbound play, as everyone got a touch, as Landon Berman scores on this pass from Colton Cornwell. Absolutely fundamental basketball and great coaching. Next up at number 2 this week, Slate Sechrist wraps under Kai Fravel before taking him down, forcing him onto his back, and earning the pin. Listen to that roar from the home crowd as Sechrist scores Jersey Shore's first points of the night. The Bulldogs get to have something to celebrate about, and Sechrist gets a big win.
Absolutely.
And now, last but certainly not least, back to State College for the Little Lions and Trojans as Chambersburg forces a steal. It's taken by J.J. Kelly, and he gets all the way up on this slam dunk fast break. Let's slow that down. Kelly jumps almost out of the gym, almost hitting the rim and backboard before returning to earth.
That dog will hunt.
JJ looking like Jordan. I'm Massimo Manfra, and that are the top 3 plays of the week. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah, they were getting some great plays, but Matt DeMartico goal at the Ohio State game was great and could have been in that too.
Yeah, some great plays this week. Let's see what happens next week. But that's all from this week's edition of After the Whistle. Tune in next week for more coverage of District 6 and Penn State sports. I'm Nico Rodriguez.
And I'm Andrew Matz. For more updates about our show and coverage of the games, follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ATWPSU. We'll see you next week right here on After the Whistle.